before you start, he's going to announce to put the phones on the silent or vibrate. I've touched it.
If you could, as a courtesy, please silence your phones.
Thank you so much, Al. Good morning, family members, friends. Thank you so much for coming. We're here to mourn Bina Mohan. I'm Dalip Avasti. I'm one of her son-in-laws, if I got it right. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. We're here to mourn her, but also remember her life with fondness and good memories, so we can take back some good memories with us. The way it'll work today is Pandit Jayesh Vyas will do a puja, and after the puja, all her close family members who have traveled from far and wide will remember her with their memories. After which the family will go for the cremation, and then all our friends and family will meet at Basel at 12 o'clock onwards for a lunch and a memorials, like a remembrance event where we'll remember the good times, which is what we always want to do. So with that, Pandit ji, aap aayenge wo puja आरंभ करने के लिए.
Remove the sword outside. No. यहाँ दीपक प्रज्वलित कर दीजिए. हरिः ओम महा ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय. ओम शांति शांति शांति. अब आप वहाँ जाइए, उनके सामने फेस रखिए. हाँ, यस. तो बीना मोहन जी की दिव्य आत्मा को शाश्वत शांति प्रदान हो, उसके लिए यहाँ अंत्येष्टि पूजा होने जा रही है. अंत्येष्टि का अर्थ होता है अंतिम संस्कार. जो हमारे हिंदू रिचुअल में 16 संस्कार है, उसमें से लास्ट जर्नी जो है वो अंतिम संस्कार है. इस पूजा से जीवात्मा को सद्गति की प्राप्ति होती है. जैसे कहते हैं कि ये शरीर बनने में 5 तत्वों की जरूरत पड़ती है. स्थिति जल पावक गगन शरीरा पंच रचित यह अधम शरीरा. ये शरीर जो पार्थिव शरीर है, जो पंचभूतों में विलीन होने वाला है, वो पंचभूत कौन से है? तो कि पृथ्वी, जल, तेज, वायु और आकाश. यही 5 तत्वों से हम सबका शरीर निर्माण होता है. और जब इस शरीर से आत्म तत्व निकल जाए, उसके बाद ये शरीर 5 तत्वों में विलीन हो जाता है. यानी कि आकाश का तत्व आकाश में मिल जाता है, पृथ्वी का तत्व पृथ्वी में मिल जाता है, अग्नि का तत्व अग्नि में समाहित हो जाता है. तो उनकी आत्म शांति के लिए अंतिम संस्कार का जो अंत्येष्टि विधि है यहाँ पे आरंभ हो रहा है. आप सभी आंख बंद करके 5 टाइम ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय इस महामंत्र का जप करेंगे. उसके पश्चात ये महामंत्र का पुण्य फल हम उषा मोहन जी को अर्पण करके अंत्येष्टि पूजा में प्रवेश करेंगे. भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगो शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगो शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः शामा शान्तिरेधि जतो यतः शमेहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु शन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः ओम शांति शांति शांति। आप दोनों राइट हैंड में जल पकड़ के रखिए, थोड़ा इस टेबल को आगे मुंह कर दीजिए, या बस ओके। वहाँ चले जाइए जहाँ थे, हाथ में जल लीजिए, राइट हैंड आप सामने आइए, मैं देता हूँ। ओके, दिस इज फॉर अंत्येष्टि पूजा संकल्प। हरि ओम महा ओम तिथिर्विष्णुर्दधा वारो नक्षत्रं विष्णुरेव च योगश्च करणं चैव सर्वं विष्णुमयं जगत्। ओम भूर्भुवस्वः विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः श्रीमद्भगवतो महापुरुषस्य विष्णुराज्ञयाः प्रवर्तमान सद्य ब्रह्मणो द्वितीयपरार्धे श्रीश्वेतवाराहकल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरजष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिप्रथमचरणे उत्तरमरिकादेशे सप्तसागरमध्ये नॉर्थ कैरोलिना क्षेत्रे राहले नगरे फिनरल होमे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने मासोत्तम मासे फाल्गुन मासे शुभे कृष्णपक्षद्य प्रतिपतायां शुभपुण्यतिथहुवार श्रेष्ठः बुधवासरान्वितायां मा यजमानस्य गोत्रोद्भवस्य। यदि आपको अपना गोत्र पता है तो बोलिए, नहीं है तो कश्यप गोत्र का ध्यान करें। कश्यप गोत्रोद्भवस्यात् वेद शाखा रहितस्य, आपको अपना नाम बोलना है। चंद्रमोहन नामधेयस्य नामधेयस्य सह परिवार बांधव यजमाना अहम महा, आप दोनों को बोलना है अस्य। अब संस्कृत में बोलिए, अस्य प्रेतस्य मोक्षार्थे अंत्येष्टि पूजनम करिष्ये। आपके हाथ में गंगाजल है, उनके माउथ में वो गंगाजल अर्पण करें। ओम महाविष्णवे नमः। आप भी हाथ में फ्लावर पकड़ के रखिए, आप भी लीजिए। तो अंतिम समय में गंगा का पान कराने से भी जीवात्मा को परम शांति की प्राप्ति होती है। मरण समये ऊर्ध्वोच्छिष्ट धरोच्छिष्ट स्नान सूचि मरण समय हरि नामोच्चारण वर्जितम। अंत समय में हरि का नाम स्मरण किया हो तो भी जीवात्मा को मुक्ति प्रदान होती है। तुलसी तिल कुश गोपी चंदन गंगोदक स्नान रहित दोषाणाम च, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ और अंत में गंगा का एक बूंद भी उनके माउथ में मुख में डाल दिया तो भी जीवात्मा को सदगति प्रदान होती है। तो जीवात्मा को आत्म शांति के लिए यहाँ पंच देवों का ध्यान किया जाएगा। सबसे पहले सृष्टि के सृजन करता ब्रह्मा, ब्रह्मा जी को प्रणाम। हे ब्रह्मा जी, बीना मोहन जी की आत्मा को आप शांति प्रदान करें, ब्रह्मा का ध्यान करें। हरि ओम ओम ब्रह्म जगनानम प्रथमं पुरुषाद विषयमतः सुरुचो बहेनावः शबुधन्या उपमाश्च विष्टाः सतश्च जोनिम सतश्च विवः यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति देवैस्तवै वेदै शङ्खपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसः पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यां तं न विदुःसुरः सुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। बीना मोहन जी के राइट शोल्डर के पास वो फ्लावर रख दीजिए सब। ओम ब्रह्मणे नमः। उनका राइट शोल्डर होता है दिस साइड। या फिर से फ्लावर लीजिए। अब भगवान ब्रह्मा जी का स्मरण, यहाँ से फ्लावर लीजिए, टेक इट फ्लावर, यस। अब भगवान विष्णु का ध्यान करें। विष्णु मोक्ष प्रदान करने वाले देवता है। नारायण को प्रणाम। हे नारायण, बीना मोहन जी की आत्मा को शांति प्रदान करे। ओम इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधा निदधे पदम शमूढमस्य वागुसुरेश्वाहा शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिविद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण जन्मसंसारबन्धनात् विमुच्यते। नमस्तस्मै विष्णवे प्रभवे विष्णवे। बीना जी के लेफ्ट शोल्डर के पास वो सारे फ्लावर चढ़ा दीजिए। ओम पापः महाविष्णवे नमः पुष्पाणिं समर्पयामि। फिर से फ्लावर पकड़िए। अब तीसरे देवता भगवान शिव है, जो स्मशान के देवता कहा गया है। स्मशान में भगवान शिव को प्रणाम करते हुए प्रार्थना करें कि हे महादेव, जो जीव आपके शरण में आया है उनको आप मुक्ति प्रदान करें, मोक्ष प्रदान करें। उनकी कोई अधूरी इच्छा रह गई है, खाने की, पीने की, हरने की, फरने की, देखने की, घूमने की, सभी आशा और तृष्णाओं को शांत करते हुए आप बीना मोहन जी की आत्मा को शांति प्रदान करें। भगवान शिव जी को प्रणाम, जो स्मशान के आराध्य देव है। भगवान भोले बाबा को प्रणाम। हरि ओम ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनं उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षेयमामृतातः। महोक्षः खट्वांगं परशुरजिनं भस्मफणिनः कपालं चेति यत् तव वरदतन्त्रोपकरणं शूरास्त्वां त्वां वृद्धिं दधति तु भवद्भूप्रणिहितां नहि स्वात्मा रामं विषयमृगतृष्णां भ्रमयति। श्मशाने स्वाहा क्रीडा स्मरहर्पिशाचा सहचरा चिता भस्मालेपो स्रगपिनुकरोटी परिकर अमङ्गल्यं शीलं तव भवतॄणामेवमखिलं तथापि स्मरतॄणां वरद परमं मंगलमसि। बीना जी के हृदय में भगवान शिव का ध्यान करते हुए सारे पुष्प अर्पण करें। ओम शिवाय नमः। श्मशान आराध्य देवताय नमः। फिर से फ्लावर पकड़िए। चौथे देवता यम राजा है, उसका ध्यान करें। जब भी शरीर से आत्म तत्व निकलता है, यदि जीवन में पुण्य किए हैं, व्रत, जप, तप, दान, यज्ञ, सेवा, पूजा, परोपकार किया है, तो अंत समय में भगवान के पार्षद लेने के लिए आते हैं। यदि पाप नहीं किया, पुण्य हो गया, तो भगवान के पार्षद ही हमें लेने के लिए आते हैं। शास्त्रों में ऐसा वर्णन है। और यदि पुण्य से पाप बढ़ जाता है तो यम के दूत लेने के लिए आते हैं। यम का इसलिए ध्यान किया जाता है कि जीवात्मा को यम का भय सहन न करना पड़े, उसके लिए यम राजा को प्रणाम। हे यम देवता, बीना मोहन जी की आत्मा को यम याचना से मुक्त करे और उनको सद्गति प्रदान करे। हरि ओम ओम जमाय तवांगिरस्वते पितृमते स्वाहा स्वाहा घर्माय स्वाहा घर्म पितरे। बीना जी के राइट लेग के पास वो फ्लावर रख दीजिए। हरि ओम ओम यमाय नमः। फिर से फ्लावर पकड़ के रखिए। पंचम देवता तत्पुरुष है, उनको प्रणाम करें। हरि ओम ओम प्रेता जयता नर इंद्रो वह शर्म जच्छत उग्रा वह संतु बाहवो नादृख्या जथा सतः। लेफ्ट लेग के पास वो फ्लावर रख दीजिए। नमस्कारान् उपतिष्ठतां महा। अब आप ये कोकोनट पकड़िए और उसमें ओम लिखना है, ओम। और फिर जहाँ जहाँ फ्लावर डाले हैं वहाँ पे मैं आपको जब कहूँ तब ये रख देना है। ओम। ठीक है, चलो बस आइए, दोनों टच करके रखिए। अब यहाँ पे पंचपिंड का महत्व बताया है। पंचपिंडदान दिया जाता है ताकि मृतात्मा को सद्गति प्रदान हो। पांचों पिंड कहाँ कहाँ दिए जाते हैं? सबसे पहले जहाँ पता चले कि बीना मोहन जी अब इस दुनिया में नहीं रहे, अंतिम श्वास जहां उन्होंने लिया है वहां पे पहला पिंड माने कोकोनेट अर्पण किया जाता है, जिससे उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिले। तो प्रथम हरि ओम मा ओम काश्यप गोत्रोद्भवस्यात् बीना मोहन जी नाम ध्येयस्य अंत समये नाम एषते पिंडः। राइट शोल्डर के पास जो फ्लावर है वहां पे वो अर्पण कर दीजिए। दूसरा लीजिए, तिलक करिए। दूसरा जो पिंड है, कोकोनेट है, वो जब अंत समय में घर से निकलते हैं अंतिम बार जीवात्मा, तब वहाँ पे द्वार पे दिया जाने वाला ये पिंड है, जिससे उनके अंदर कोई मन में मोह न रहे, कोई वासना न रहे, इसलिए उनको मुक्ति प्रदान हो। हरि ओम महा काश्यप गोत्रोद्भवस्यात् बीना मोहन नाम ध्येयस्य द्वार देशे पांत निमित्तकः एषते पिंडः। लेफ्ट शोल्डर के पास जो फ्लावर है वहां वो अर्पण करिए। तीसरा लीजिए। अब तीसरा पिंड श्रीफल वहां पे कोकोनेट अर्पण किया जाता है जब उनको लेके स्मशान यात्रा निकलती है। 4 रास्ते जहां पड़ते हैं वहां जीवात्मा को एक विश्राम दिया जाता है, तो वहां पे दिया जाने वाला ये कोकोनेट पिंड है। हरि ओम महाकाश्यप गोत्रोद्भवस्यात् बीना मोहन नाम ध्येयस्य चत्वरस्थाने खेचा निमित्तकः एषते पिंडः। उनका हृदय के पास वो रख दीजिए साइड में, बस। चौथा लीजिए। अब ये चौथा जो है, जब स्मशान में प्रवेश करते हैं तो स्मशान में प्रवेश करते ही वहाँ के चांडाल को एक यहाँ भेंट दिया जाता है, कोकोनेट दिया जाता है। जैसे राजा हरिश्चंद्र काशी में स्मशान में वो सबकी चौकीदारी करते थे, तो स्मशान में भूत नाम का पिंड दिया जाता है, वो ये है। हरि ओम मा काश्यप गोत्रोद्भवस्यात् बीना मोहन जी नाम ध्येयस्य श्मशान स्थाने भूत नामना एषते पिंडः। राइट लेग के पास वो रख दीजिए, राइट। फिर से लीजिए, ये पंचम है, ये वहां पे दिया जाता है जहां पे चंदन की लकड़ी से उनकी चिताएं सजाई जाती है, तो वहां पे चिता स्थान पे दिया जाने वाला ये अंतिम कोकोनेट और पिंड है, जिससे जीवात्मा को मुक्ति प्रदान हो। हरि ओम महा ओम काश्यप गोत्रोद्भवस्यात् बीना मोहन जी नाम ध्येयस्य चितास्थाने आत्मशांत्यर्थे एषते पिंडः। अर्पण कर दीजिए वहां पे। अब सब के ऊपर ये तिल चढ़ा दीजिए, सारे के सारे पूरे कर देने हैं, सब चढ़ा दीजिए। हाँ, कोकोनेट के ऊपर ऊपर। हरि ओम मा ओम अनादिनिधनो देव शंखचक्र गदाधरः अक्षयः पुण्डरीकाक्ष प्रेतमोक्षप्रदो भवः हिरण्यगर्भपुरुष व्यक्ता व्यक्तस्वरूपधृत् अस्य प्रेतस्य मोक्षार्थं सुप्रीतो भव सर्वदा। हिरण्यगर्भपुरुष व्यक्ता सारे के सारे चढ़ा देना है, ठीक है। हिरण्यगर्भपुरुष व्यक्ता व्यक्तस्वरूपधृत् अस्य प्रेतस्य मोक्षार्थं सुप्रीतो भव सर्वदा। अनाधिनिधनो देव शंखचक्र गदाधरः अक्षयः पुण्डरीकाक्षः प्रेतमोक्षप्रदो भवः हिरण्यगर्भपुरुषः व्यक्ता व्यक्तस्वरूपधृत् अस्य प्रेतस्य मोक्षार्थं सुप्रीतो भव सर्वदा। कृष्ण कृष्ण कृपालो त्वमगतीनां गतिर्भवः संसारवर्णमग्नानां प्रसीद परमेश्वरः नारायणसुरश्रेष्ठः लक्ष्मीकान्तवरप्रदः अनेन पूजनेनाथः प्रेतमोक्षः प्रदो भवः। बाद में ये सारी हवन सामग्री वहाँ चढ़ा दीजिए, या सब चढ़ा दीजिए। ये हवन सामग्री इसलिए अर्पण की जाती है क्योंकि जब भी चिता अग्निदाह होता है तो पवित्र लकड़ियों की से ही चिता जलाई जाती है। तो इस हवन सामग्री में चंदन की लकड़ियाँ है, बहुत सारे प्रकार के सुगंधित द्रव्य है जो जीवन को सुगंधित करके सुवासित करके गए हैं। तो सब जगह पे हवन सामग्री अर्पण करें। कृष्ण कृष्ण कृपालो त्वमगतीनां गतिर्भवः संसार वर्णमग्नानां प्रसीद परमेश्वरः नारायण सुरश्रेष्ठ लक्ष्मीकांत वरप्रदः अनेन पूजनेनाथः प्रेतमोक्षः प्रदो भवः। सब जगह पे ये धूप बत्तियाँ कोकोनट के ऊपर रख दीजिए। इसमें वांस आता है, स्मशान में वांस का भी प्रयोग किया जाता है। तो ये अगरबत्ती सारी चारों तरफ चढ़ा दीजिए। हाँ। हरि ओम महा ओम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। जिह्वे विवस्वामृतमें तदेव गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति। अथ प्रेत पूजनम महा। आप दोनों उनको पुनः एक बार गंगा जल चम्मच से पिलाइए, ले जाइए। हरि ओम महा ओम गंगायै नमः इति मंत्रेण गंगाजलम उपतिष्ठतां महा। बेटी के हाथों से गंगा जल पिलाओ। ओम गंगायै नमः गंगाजलम उपतिष्ठतां महा। तो आप दोनों उनको एक एक तिलक कर दीजिए ललाट में। हरि ओम महा। अनादिनिधनो देव शङ्खचक्रगदाधरः अक्षयः पुण्डरीकाक्षः प्रेतमोक्षप्रदो भवः। ये अंतिम वस्त्र है, आप दोनों ओपन करके पकड़ के रखिए। नाउ आई एम चांटिंग द भगवद गीता चैप्टर नंबर 15। तो 15वें अध्याय का हम पारायण करेंगे, पाठ करेंगे। और जैसे ही, अभी नहीं, जैसे ही ये अध्याय संपन्न हो उसके बाद उनको वो अंतिम वस्त्र ओढ़ा देना है, चढ़ा देना है। तो सभी भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि प्रभु बीना मोहन जी की आत्मा को शांति प्रदान हो। इसके लिए भगवत गीता का 15वां अध्याय, जिसको पुरुषोत्तम योग कहा जाता है, उसका स्मरण करेंगे। हरि ओम महा ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ पंचदशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमदः शाखमस्वस्थं प्राहुरव्ययं छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवेत्। अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसुतस्य शाखा गुणा प्रवृद्धा विषयः प्रवाला। अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धेनि मनुष्यलोके। न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा। अश्वस्थमेनं सुविरूढमूल मत्सङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा। ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः। तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसुता पुराणी। निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनीत्या विनिवृत्तकामः। द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञे गच्छन्त्यमूढः पदमव्ययं तत्। न तद्भाषयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः। यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम। ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः। मनः षष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति। शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चाक्रुरतमीश्वरः। गृहे त्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धान्निवासयात्। श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च। अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते। उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं। विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः। यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मनवस्थितं। यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्त चेतसः। यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलं। यश्चन्द्रमसि यज्ञांसो तत्तेजो विधिमामकां। गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा। पुष्पाणि सौषधिः सर्वा सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः। अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः। प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं। सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मतः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानपमोहनं च। वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहं। द्वाविमो पुरुषो लोकेऽक्षरक्षाक्षर एव च। क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कुटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते। उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मे हृदा हृदः। यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्तव्य ईश्वरः यस्माक्षरमतीतोऽहमक्षरादविजोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः यो मामेव सम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भवति मां सर्वभावेन भारतः इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रमिदमुक्तं मया नघ एतद्बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारतः कृतकृत्यश्च भारतः। आप दोनों को बोलना है, बोलिए ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद भगवद गीता सुपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योग शास्त्रे श्री कृष्णार्जुन संवादे पुरुषोत्तम योगो नाम पंचदशो अध्याय बिना मोहन जी प्रणमस्तु। यह 15वां अध्याय हम बिना मोहन जी को समर्पित करते हैं। यही भाव के साथ अंतिम वस्त्र पहनाइए। अंतिम वस्त्र उपतिष्ठताम महा। अब उनके ऊपर थोड़े थोड़े फ्लावर चढ़ा दीजिए चारों तरफ। हरि ओम महा। ये फ्लावर लीजिए, चारों तरफ थोड़े थोड़े फ्लावर पूरा ले लीजिए। हरि ओम महा। मृत्यु को संतों की भाषा में निर्वाण कहा गया है। जो चीज जहाँ से आए उसको वापस लौटाना, उसको नाम है निर्वाण। हरि ओम महा। न पुण्यम न पापम न सौख्यम न दुखम न मंत्रो न तीर्थो न वेदा न यज्ञः अहम भोजनम नैव भोज्यम न भोक्ता चिदानंद रूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानंद रूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं। नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। अब ये दिया ले लीजिए और 4 परिक्रमा करिए। यस 4। आप बहन थोड़े फ्लावर चढ़ा दे ताकि अच्छे लगे, सुगंधित। बाद में सब लोगों के लिए रखेंगे। हाँ, 4 परिक्रमा करिए। हरि ओम महा। ओम श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा कृष्णाय परमात्मने नमः। अब आप दोनों उनके राइट कान के पास जो मैं मंत्र बोलूं वो आपको उनको सुनाना है। भगवान के 10 अवतारों का नाम उनके कानों में बोलने से बीना जी की आत्मा को परम शांति मिलती है। तो थोड़ा नीचे झुक के उनके कान में ये मंत्र बोलिए। बोलिए ओम मत्स्यम कूर्मम वराहं च नारसिंहं च वामनं रामं रामं रामकृष्णं बौद्धं कल्की नमाम्यहम्। ओम श्री राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्त्र नाम तत्तुल्यम श्री राम नाम वरानने हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। बस अब दो हाथ जोड़ के क्षमा प्रार्थना कर लीजिए। जाने अनजाने में बिना मोहन जी की आत्मा को ठेस पहुंचाई हो, उनके आत्मा को दुखी किया हो, उनके वाणी वचनों में विश्वास न रखा हो, जाने अनजाने में काया वाचा मन बुद्धि से उनके हृदय को ठेस पहुंचे, ऐसा हमने कोई व्यवहार जीवन में किया हो तो उनसे यहाँ क्षमा प्रार्थना करें कि मुझे क्षमा करे। सभी बंधनों से हम आपको मुक्त करते हैं। यही भावना के साथ परमात्मा आपको शांति प्रदान करे और ये परिवार के ऊपर आन पड़ा दुख है, इसको सहन करने की परम कृपालु परमात्मा आपके परिवार को शक्ति प्रदान करते हुए यहाँ अंत्येष्टि पूजा संपन्न होती है। नमस्कार करिए। प्रार्थयेत हरि ओम मः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रवीणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। प्रार्थना पूर्वक नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। अब आप दोनों फिर से हाथ में जल पकड़ के रखिए। जैसे शुरू में अंत्येष्टि पूजा करने का संकल्प किया था, वैसे ही यह पूजा पूर्ण करने का संकल्प अर्पण करें। हाथ में जल पकड़िए, राइट हैंड में नीचे रखो, नीचे रखो, नीचे रखो। या अंत्येष्टि पूजन अर्चन विधेहे परिपूर्णतामस्तु। उनके पूरे जगह पे चढ़ा दीजिए। ओम विष्णवे नमः, विष्णवे नमः, विष्णवे नमः। हरि ओम। शांति शांति।
May mom's souls rest in peace. I only knew mom for a few years, for 20 short years. And I'll keep my comments. I'll just say a few brief comments before the family will come and speak about her. I'm a nomad. I have never lived in a city for more than 5 years at a stretch. And then when Monica and I decided to, make Raleigh our home, one of the key reasons that Raleigh became my home is because of mom, because of her love and affection. And she had a supernatural ability to know when I needed dessert. And magically, the dessert would appear. And how that happened, that's not the question, but it happened. So I loved the fact that she was here. It made it a real home for me. And I've been here 20 years now, which, Monica questions every day, like 20 years and 20 good years with 3 beautiful kids. So, and there are many things I can go on for a while. But, mom was born in Uttar Pradesh, which is where my family is from. And very few people leave Uttar Pradesh, which is a surprise because it is the largest state in the world. I think it's like 250 million people. But people rarely leave there and come to places like the United States. So then I thought, why do people never leave Uttar Pradesh? And then I thought, this is God's land. You have the Himalayas in the north. You have the holy Ganga flowing through it, watering its fields. And then I thought of a Hindi song. And it said, Meri desh ki dharti sona ugle, ugle hire moti. Which a simple translation is, I hope the land, the soil of my land births gold, diamonds, and pearls. And mom was one such diamond because she sparkled with intelligence. I mean, you all know she's one of the only 2 women in her class at India's oldest engineering college, which is amazing for the time. So, and every time I spoke to her, he knew she was very, very intelligent. And I love talking to intelligent people. So I'm going to be facetious. She was very intelligent. And she, of course, she was kind and, she knew my love for desserts. But I don't want to go on for too long. But she really made it a home for me. And I'm really grateful, for having spent 20 short years with her. I wish it could have been longer. But I just want to conclude by saying one more thing. Mom had incredible grit. And whatever her ailments, I never saw her not smiling. She never complained. If you needed anything, she'd drop everything and come to you. And she was always there for you. And I teach my kids, always look to the future. Don't complain. Do what needs to be done. And always onwards and upwards. But with those, few short words, hopefully, I'd like to invite Shri Balraj Kapoor, who was her uncle. Balraj ji, aap aayenge? आपके लिए कुर्सी रखूं मैं?
जो उठते थे बैठाने के वास्ते, आज बैठे हैं उठाने के वास्ते. Those who used to stand up to make me sit down are today gathered to lift me up. I had never imagined that I would be facing this day. In fact, when Bina was suffering in her illness, I would wish that I would be in her place. And now when you are lying in that coffin, I wish I was there. Bina was so loved by us. She came as the first niece in the large Kapoor clan of 6 brothers and 2 sisters. When she was expected, my sister taught me to knit her socks. I was 8 years old, and I remember putting those socks, fitting them on my nose, and running around the house saying, "Baby is coming, baby is coming." Our entire house, when she came, the ceilings of all the rooms were filled with colorful gas-filled balloons. It would have appeared like we were celebrating a wedding when Bina came. Bina was highly accomplished. She got, after her study in the Loreto convent in Lucknow, she got selected in the Thompson School of Engineering, Roorkee. That institution was set up by the British to train engineers for public works, like building bridges, roads, and government buildings. And she followed in her father's footsteps, who had done his engineering in Roorkee. And her father had followed in his uncle's footsteps, who had done his engineering at Roorkee, and both of them became very prominent officers in the Indian Railways. And her father was recognized for having built the mighty Ganga Pul over the river Ganges at Hatida. And he had trained engineers who then went on to build bridges on the huge Mahanadi in Cuttack. And I met them. Bina we would join Chandar in missing you so much. तुम ना जाने किस जहां में खो गए, हमको सना हम तनहा में रह गए. We don't know in which world you got lost, but you have left us in great grief. Om Shanti.
Dhanyavad, Kapurji. Then we have Dr. Nautiyal, her brother.
I don't think I ever thought this day would come. I look back in Lucknow when we all lived in the same house for a while, all the sisters and myself, all of us going to school there. And I didn't know the sisters that well. And as we lived there, I realized that Bina, who spoke the least, was the queen of them all. I never heard her say an unkind word. Always supportive, so very intelligent, a great mathematician, a great wife and mother, and always gave the last piece of food to her brothers when we ate at the table. This is a great loss for all of us. I don't know how we can replace her other than in her minds and follow a way of living that in a way she taught us to do. May God bless her and thank Him for allowing her to be in our lives and teaching us so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubhi. Thank you, Shuki. Mrs. Ragini Seth, mom's younger sister, one of her younger sisters.
Hi, I'm Bina's younger sister, next in line, and all of you have known her for a long time, and you know she was perfect. Growing up, those are hard footsteps to follow because she was this Miss Perfect. Her uniform, pleats, her hair braided well, and everything. Very intelligent in class and everything. Then I came. And the teachers would look at me and say, "What happened?" But I grew up like that. But I had my own skills and I managed. But I have one very funny anecdote about Bina. the three of us used to sleep on one bed, and Bina would sleep in the middle because both of us wanted to be close to her. One night, I woke up with such a sharp pain on my fingers, and I opened my eyes, and I could see Bina's teeth looking at me, still holding my hand. Oh, I thought I was eating a bhutta. And it was like, really? But that was Bina. And I'll always remember that when I look at her face. And it's tough because I spoke to her every single day. I would call her first thing in the morning, and she knew that I was going for my exercise because I liked talking in the car to her. 15 minutes I would talk. I was in India. I spoke to her from the airport, and she was fine. And then I called her when I landed, and Monica told me that Bina's passing. It was like such a shock. She said, "What do you mean? I just spoke to her." She said, yeah, I know. It was kind of sudden. But we have excellent memories of her, and we have these kids that are so gorgeous, amazing kids. What can I say?
Thank you so much, Ragini Masi. Mom had lots of nieces and nephews, and many of them traveled here, I mean, from far and wide. If they could all come up and, all the nieces and nephews line up, please.
Bina Masi was always the sweetest and kindest person, a welcoming soul as my father best described her. He admired how she built a family and raised two lovely daughters. I know both he and my mother would want to be here if they could. I know it's very difficult for my mom not to be here. So I would like to take a moment to share some words from her. Bina, I miss you. Our lives were so woven together. We talked every time about Mama, her kids, her grandkids, connecting over the same topics, and then new topics like Wordle and connections, and our health. Every time I learned something new about you, you were just an amazing sister and will be missed. Now a few words from my amazing sister who wishes she could be here. From Bina Masi, I learned the value and power of sisterhood. Watched the way all the siblings loved and showed up for one another, and how they shape their relationships. It's how we shape them with my sister and cousins. We both love Bina Masi, its calming presence and her thoughtful energy. We will always be so grateful for the time we had with her and for what she taught us about love and family. She will be forever missed and hope she has now found eternal peace.
Hey everyone, I'm Devich. That's my brother Dhruv. Dad is Ajay, Bina's brother. One thing I'm really gonna miss is I come from a really loud family. I'm really gonna miss her quiet voice beckoning me over and asking me to catch her up on everything amidst all the chaos of my family. I really miss those chats. The next words are from my dad, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. In his words, I am so proud to have shared a lifetime with her as my sister, as she was always someone that I looked up to and tried to be myself. It hurts deeply when the ones that we love leave us first. I am, however, grateful to always carry a part of her with me, with all the memories and the moments that we shared.
Hey everyone. Bina Boha had a way of saying,
what you couldn't say or say in yourself. One weekend together in Boston, she saw me struggle in a conversation and quietly pulled me aside and said, "When your dad lies down on the floor as you do, just to be near you, that is how he shows his love." In that moment, she gave me something I didn't know I needed and brought me closer to my family. As I carried her words, and I realized her quiet wisdom was how she loved, and the world is a place without it.
Good morning. My name is Anisha, and thank you for my father's words earlier. Bina Masi was always a gracious guiding light for us, the next generation. I will always remember and appreciate her kindness and quiet support. She was every time hospitable and generous, always among the first to congratulate us on anything, making the silliest things more important because of her sincerity. She took time to invite us to events and remembered the small details that showed true caring. Just one quick memory, my first job in DC, my parents were overseas and I was on my own, and Bina Masi had work trips there. And no matter how busy she was, no matter how tired, every trip she would invite me to have either lunch or dinner with her. I will miss her and will always remember the example she set for us and keep not only her presence, but her values in my heart.
Good morning, everyone. Sonit, my mom is just spoke a little while ago. So I just want to say this, we talked earlier about remembering all the good times. And I remember growing up, we had family get-togethers and we'd meet and stuff. And it was very, very nice. Over the last, few years, we all get busy, things are happening, so we don't meet as much. But my memories of Bina Masi is that the few times we would meet, she was generally, sincerely interested in what you were doing, asking about what's happening, curious, excited, rooting you on, so to speak, like you said. And those are the memories that I have of her. And I was fortunate enough to speak with her last week. I hadn't spoke with her in a long time. And obviously she was not doing well. But even in that condition, she's still asking me what's happening, how's things, how things going along. And I'm very grateful that I was able to speak with her, before all this. And those will be my memories of her as well. Just a wonderful person, and just we'll miss you. We'll miss her a lot.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rajat. I am Ragni's oldest son and Bina's first nephew, so give it up. I think we can all say how fond we are of how particular and exact Bina Masi was. My favorite anecdote that I don't remember, but it is something that was passed between my mom and Bina almost every other time we'd ever get together. There was a time when I was younger and Bina had come to visit, or we went to go visit her, and she was standing there brushing her teeth in a very rhythmic fashion. And the story I'd been told, I started dancing to this rhythm. And that's kind of what bonded us all together. So with this story, even though I don't remember it, it's now my story. So I ask all of you, whenever you have a moment, to send a text or come up to Monica or Sonia and tell them a story about Bina. And even better, tell any of their grandchildren, Neil, Sheila, Eva, Simran, and Sean, stories about their Nani Ji. That is the greatest thing that we can hand to each other, our stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu, David, Dhruv, Anisha, Sonit, Rajat, for those kind words. Okay, that's fine. I'd like our Monica and our 3 children, Neil. Next. Sheila first. Sheila, Neil.
Thank you, Dad. Okay. Yep. Hi, everyone. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Neil Awasti, and I am Nani's grandson. Nani was the best grandmother I could ever ask for. Looking back, every moment with her made me grateful to have such a loving Nani. Some of my oldest memories of spending time with her were going to her house to jump on a brown L-shaped sofa in the playroom upstairs, eating noodles with ketchup for dinner at our sleepovers, or comparing our very similar curly hair, which I think I got from her. But Nani was hands down the strongest woman I have ever met. If you don't believe me, I'll convince you otherwise. One of my fondest memories was years ago when we went on a trip to the Blue Ridge Mountains and we went on many hikes. The last hike of the day was Linville Falls, which was a 4-mile round-trip hike. That's a very long distance. Everyone doubted Nani's ability to complete it because of its difficulty. The trail has long stretches uphill, downhill, routes, and a portion of steep stone stairs leading to the spectacular falls, which we saw at the end. It was a surprise to everyone that she hiked the whole trail with no complaint or trouble at all. After the hike, we came back to the house and roasted marshmallows by the fire pit, all while watching the sun set over the mountains that night. Moments like that showed me how strong she really was. Through moments like this, Nani taught me one of the most important things about life: to spend time with your family. Though Nani took this one step further. It isn't important to just spend time with them, but it's to spend meaningful and fun times with your family. Every time I went over to my Nani's house, she would always be kind to me, even if I annoyed her a little sometimes, which I did quite often. So every day, Nani would always want to hear about how my school day was. She would always ask me how my drive to school was, how each individual class was, who I ate lunch with, and if I had any activities in the afternoon, and if I had a fun moment with my friends during the day. If there was a day I did not tell her because I was busy, she would call my mom right after school to ask, surprising me with things I did not know she knew. So sometimes I'd go over to her house and she asked me how was blah, 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 and I never knew that she knew that. That was the best. The most important part is that she took time out of her day every day to care and look out for me. Nani, if you are hearing this, I'm going to miss going to your house or calling you much more than the speech can say. I'm confident that you are finally resting at peace, and I know you are watching over our whole family. I love you, Nani.
Sleepovers at Nani and Nana's house. Eva, Neil, and I revered those fabled nights. We cherished them deeply, but we cherish them much more now for a few glorious reasons. Tater tots for breakfast, spaghetti with ketchup for lunch, and staying up late after we ate dinner, long past our set bedtime, watching whatever shows we wanted to watch on Nani and Nana's room's TV. After our TV extravaganza, we all slept in our mom's old room. I always took the bed closest to the window seat with Eva and Neil next to the door. But of course, we never actually slept, consumed by fits of giggles at the littlest things we could think of. Eventually, it reached a point where Nani had to come in and jokingly threaten us, if you three keep giggling like that, you're gonna sleep in the closet. But of course, that made us laugh even harder, to the point where she began to chuckle as well. Every time after that special night, we'd joke with her about sleeping in the closet, and she almost kept her word. Almost. But that's only the beginning of the jokes we had together. Nani and I had a little ritual between us whenever we'd greet each other. I'd tell her, "You look absolutely gorgeous." And she'd tell me, "You look even more gorgeous." And I'd respond, "I guess we're both just two gorgeous girls." No matter the circumstance, occasion, or if we wore sweatpants and jackets or dresses and purses, we'd greeted each other as such. But say nothing of sweatpants and jackets, because Nani was almost always dressed to the nines. She always stunned every time we ate dinner together, wrapped in colorful Indian tunics with flowery patterns, adorned with shimmery traditional jewelry, which I know took some effort to wear, because putting on elaborate dangly earrings with arthritis, now that's a feat. I called her my glamma for that reason, because she always looked fabulous, and above all, she was the most glamorous out of all of us. She was also so giving. I adored all of her outfits and jewelry choices, and whenever I'd compliment her or say, "Hey Nani, I love that necklace you're wearing," she'd respond with, "Oh, you want it? It's yours now." But I'd always say no, because I couldn't take her jewelry because it wouldn't look as good on me as it did on her. Until eventually, one day, in the middle of a restaurant while we were eating dinner, she took off her bracelet, put it in my hand, and wouldn't take it back. I'm wearing it right now. Nani always thinks of the other people around her over herself because she has so much love to give. Even when she was feeling her worst, suffering with so much pain, she still made the effort to engage and ensure everybody else felt their best when she couldn't. Even in her last days, when she couldn't talk much to me, she still wanted to have our gossip sessions, as she called them. Every time I'd visit, I talked to her about my life down to the littlest detail, and she'd talk about hers. She was like my best friend who didn't attend the same high school as me, only with a whole lot more maturity and wisdom than the average high schooler, obviously. But that wisdom only comes with living a long and fulfilled life, which she certainly lived. But she still was my best friend. While we chatted, I painted her nails with little flowery designs on purple polish because I knew she liked that design the best. Aside from my parents, she's the only one who knows the ins and outs of my life better than I do myself. I don't think I'll ever stop our gossip sessions, even if she's not physically here, because she will always be with me for the rest of my life. Whenever I eat chole, burfi, or gobi, which she knew was my favorite, I'll think of Nani. Whenever Neil, Eva, and I stay up late talking into the night, I'll think of the years we spent laughing under the covers in Mom's old bedroom instead of sleeping like she told us to. Whenever I wear perfume or jewelry, I'll think of Nani's effort to look nice. Whenever I paint my nails, I'll think of Nani's flowery designs. Whenever I text anybody, I'll think of sending Nani pictures of my food and of the morning sky. Whenever I face any hardship or struggle to hurdle an obstacle, I'll think of Nani and her relentless perseverance and fight. And in my head, it'll always be Nani and Nana's house, instead of just Nana's house. I'll forever miss you, my grandma, my dear Nani, but I don't think you're gonna ever truly leave me. Hi, my name's Eva, for those who do not know. Our Nani was the strongest, kindest, and most joyful person I know. She spent her whole life embracing every moment and helping her family and brightening everybody's day. Wherever she went, she was loved by all. Throughout our time together, Nani has been so much more than a grandmother for me. She has been my best friend. So much so that throughout elementary school, we would call each other buddy. Today, I'm going to share one of my favorite buddy memories of us together. It begins when I'm in second grade, and I was just told I get to spend the weekend at Nani's house. When I heard this news, I was ecstatic. I rushed to my parents' room and had my dad get the big suitcase from the top of the shelf. At that time, spending 2 nights away from home meant bringing all of my belongings with me. But most importantly, I was eagerly awaiting to spend the whole weekend with my buddy. When I got to her house, I rushed to Mom's old room to take out all of my things so we can begin our fun-filled weekend. After eating a bowl of spaghetti with ketchup, a very famous meal in her house, a meal that was also banned from ours, for dinner, I knew I was in for an exciting weekend. The next morning, Nani and I started with our list of things that we wanted to accomplish that day. Our first stop was Joann's so I could pick out fabric so that Nani could teach me how to sew. That day began my longtime interest in dressmaking and stitching. After Joann's, we went to Sprouts to buy my favorite chocolate muffins. Nani always knew the exact foods to make or buy to brighten all of our days. Back at her house, sitting down in Mom's old bedroom, she taught me the first 5 simple stitches to sewing. This lesson was one of the many things she has taught me about life. After failing the first 2 attempts to sew the 2 ends of the fabric together, I felt like I was about to give up. But Nani patiently helped me figure out where I was going wrong and helped me fix the problem. She always knew the answer to all of our problems and came up with the best solutions. Our day ended with attempting to make cookies. With the few ingredients we had, we got to work on making chocolate chip ones. I vividly remember struggling to mix the cold butter into the whole wheat flour, because that's all she had at her house, and wondering why the 2 ingredients would not mix into a soft dough. The cookies ended up tasting tough and bland, but it all did not matter because Nani had just tried her best to make me happy. Her thoughtfulness is a quality I will always aspire to have. I'm telling this story because it is a true testament to Nani's strong character. She always wanted to make us happy and feel loved. She was truly selfless. She always thought of how she can make other people's days better. When I remember when I visited Nani in the hospital, and the first thing that she asked me was how was my day. She didn't even think of herself. She was always thinking of others. And that is how I will remember Nani. I will try to embody her selflessness and her strength. I will really miss you, and I hope that she's finally at rest. Thank you.
Before I begin, I would like to offer my sincere gratitude on behalf of my family. I look around the room and I am overwhelmed with your support and struck by the beauty of our family and community. 3 generations of friendship fill this room, friends of my parents, our friends, and friends of my children, and most of them all in the same family. Thank you for joining us from all over the US and all over the world on live stream on a weekday to honor my mom. My mom was the kind of mom who, to me, was perfect. She was beautiful, smart, and kind. She could bake Mrs. Fields' replica cookies, sew me a skirt, and design a house, all while raising my sister and me while my dad traveled for work. I don't remember a time she raised her voice at me, although she recalls she did, like the time my sister and I each took a crayon and drew lines on every wall in our house, or when we threw all the silverware in the toilet. But what I remember most is how she made me feel safe, capable of achieving anything, and deeply loved. I will miss our daily talks. She listened patiently to all my stories about Neil, Sheila, and Eva. We talked about the joys of raising teenagers in the age of COVID and social media, and the real joys of watching your child do something for the first time. She was my constant support, and somewhere along the way, she became more than my mother. She became my best friend. And she did all of that while quietly fighting battles of her own. In her mid-30s, she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Years later came pulmonary fibrosis and other complications with it. But she never let her suffering define her. For years, I wrestled with a question. Why would God give such a beautiful person such cruel diseases? As I've grown older, I've come to believe she was teaching us life lessons. The first is perseverance. She was a living reminder to keep going in spite of difficulty. She raised us while working a full-time job. She was there for every new beginning in my life, from 6 college move-ins to setting up apartments in different cities. We traveled and walked all over the world, got lost in places like Hampton Court Maze in England. She never let anything stop her. She did it so well that I almost forgot she was suffering. The second lesson took me much longer to understand, and maybe even till now. Pain is often unavoidable, but carrying it is a choice. My mom already had more than enough physical pain. She chose not to carry emotional pain with it. She let things go. She did not dwell. She did not blame. She moved forward. And she is still teaching me to do the same. When I was little, I was terrified of thunderstorms. I would wake her up at night and she would tell me to not be afraid because it was just God crying. Because sometimes there is sadness in life. She told me to recite the Gayatri mantra to calm my mind. This past Thursday, As we rushed Mom to the hospital, it was raining, and I was scared again. But this time, I understood. God was crying because someone beautiful was leaving this world. She passed peacefully early Friday morning with our family by her side as we recited the Gayatri Mantra. When I drove home, the rain had lifted and was replaced by a mystical fog. In the dark night, it felt like her spirit was surrounding me. Later, as I tried to rest in bed, I found myself asking, where did she go? I even nudged Dilip as he attempted to close his eyes and whispered, where's Mom? And as the sun rose later, I found her. I found her in Neil, who sees the world in 3 dimensions, like my mom did. And who has her compassion for seeing all sides of people and situations. I found her in Sheila, who reaches for the stars and makes the seemingly impossible happen. Just like a determined young woman who attended a professional school in India in the 1960s, immigrated to a new country, and became a manager at Nortel. I found her in Eva, who can create something beautiful out of nothing, whether it's growing orchids, sewing a skirt, or designing a home in Raleigh. She is in them. Although she lived with long-term illnesses, she chose to live life fully, whether spending hours shopping with her crazed teenage daughters at Crabtree Valley Mall, or hiking Linville Falls with her grandchildren just 5 years ago. If you ever feel like you can't do something, if you feel like you can't face something difficult, remember her. Remember her strength. Remember how she let things go and how she kept going. And please say to yourself, yes, I can. I will miss Mom. I loved her dearly. And Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Neelam ji, just a few. Okay. Neelam ji wants to say a few words, but we can. Sure.
Good morning, everyone. I am Neelam Chandrabhai sister. I came from New Jersey, and all of you are here. It so much means to Chandrabhai Sahib's family and to me. It is very difficult time and very emotional time, but I would like to say few words for my beloved Bina Bhabhi. Bina Bhabhi was my dear sister-in-law. She was a very kind, loving, and beautiful person with a generous heart. As part of our family, we had good times together and will always cherish these precious memories. Bina Bhabhi was also a loyal, loving, and sportive partner to my brother Chandra Bhai Saab and his family. Bina Bhabi, you will be deeply missed and always remain in our hearts and memories. Rest in peace, my dear sister-in-law. Thank you very much.
पंडित जी अब अभी अंतिम संस्कार cremation के लिए. On behalf of Chandra Mohan ji and Bina ji, I'd like to thank all of our friends and family for coming here and joining us and showing us support. And we will now move. Pandit ji, हम अभी cremation के लिए. अच्छा, if we'll do the, what's it called? Antin Darshan. We have some flowers here. If everyone could come and take note direct. Okay. Perfect. And just remind everyone at 12 o'clock, we'll all meet again at Basel. And perfect. Thank you so much for coming again. We truly appreciate it. So everyone comes.